Why she wants cuddles but not sex. Have you ever noticed this? She still wants to lie next to you. She still wants hugs. She still wants to hold your hand. But when it comes to sex, she pulls away. She says, "I'm tired. Maybe tomorrow." Or she simply changes the subject. And if this has been happening for weeks or even months, you probably have one question. What changed? Most people immediately jump to one conclusion. She must be cheating. But reality is often much more complicated than that. Reality check. A woman can love you, enjoy your company, want your hugs, and still not feel interested in sex. That sounds confusing. But psychology explains why. And if you misunderstand this, you can accidentally make the problem much worse. Cuddles and sex are not the same need. Most men see physical affection as one category. A hug, a kiss, sex. It all feels connected. But for many women, these things don't always mean the same thing. A cuddle often means, "I feel safe. I trust you. I want to be close to you." Sex often requires something extra. Desire, mental relaxation, feeling emotionally connected, feeling attractive, feeling present. Those are completely different experiences. That's why someone can genuinely enjoy sleeping in your arms while not feeling ready for sex. Reality check. Wanting affection doesn't automatically mean wanting intimacy. And confusing those two things creates frustration for both partners. What usually happens? Let's imagine a couple. They've been together for 4 years. Every night, he hugs her. She hugs him back. They watch Netflix together. Everything looks normal. Then he starts kissing her. Within seconds, she says, "Can we just cuddle tonight?" Immediately, his mood changes. He becomes quiet. Maybe even upset. Now she's thinking, "I just wanted to feel close to him." He's thinking, "She doesn't find me attractive anymore." Notice something? Neither person actually understands what the other is feeling. And that's exactly how emotional distance slowly begins. The biggest mistake many men make. Here's something relationship therapists talk about quite often. Some men unintentionally teach their partner that every hug leads to sex. Think about it. Every time he starts touching her, it's because he wants intimacy. Every kiss becomes the beginning of sex. Every cuddle becomes step one. So after a while, she starts predicting what's coming next. Now something interesting happens. She doesn't avoid sex first. She starts avoiding the cuddle. Because in her mind, the cuddle no longer feels relaxing. It feels like pressure. Reality check. If every physical touch feels like an expectation, even innocent affection can start feeling stressful. Your brain changes the meaning of touch. Here's a fact from relationship psychology. The human brain creates emotional associations. If touching your partner usually ends with comfort, your brain starts connecting touch with safety. But if touching your partner regularly leads to guilt, pressure, arguments, or disappointment, your brain starts connecting touch with stress instead. This happens slowly. Most couples never even notice it happening. One day, she isn't rejecting you. She's reacting to the feeling her brain has attached to that moment. That's why communication matters much more than assumptions. Stress can destroy desire. Let's talk about something most people underestimate. Stress. Imagine her day. She wakes up early, rushes to work, deals with deadlines, answers phone calls, handles family problems, comes home exhausted. Now imagine what happens when she finally lies down. Her body doesn't automatically switch into romance. Sometimes it switches into recovery mode. Her brain isn't thinking, "Let's have sex." It's thinking, "Please let me rest." But she still wants you beside her. She still wants comfort. She still wants your arms around her. Because comfort and desire aren't always controlled by the same emotional state. Reality check. Being too exhausted for sex doesn't always mean being too exhausted for love. Emotional safety creates physical attraction. Here's another fact many couples learn too late. For many women, feeling emotionally safe increases sexual desire. Feeling emotionally unsafe often reduces it. Think about the last few weeks. Have your conversations mostly been about problems? Bills? Arguments? Responsibilities? Complaints? Stress? If yes, then your relationship may have become emotionally heavy. When that happens, the bedroom usually notices first. Because emotional tension doesn't disappear when the lights go off. It follows you into bed. The silent pressure. Sometimes, the pressure isn't even spoken. She already knows what you're hoping for. You hug her. She thinks, "He's probably expecting sex." You kiss her. She thinks, "If I stop now, he'll become upset." Even if you've never actually said those words, she may still feel that pressure. And pressure is one of the fastest ways to reduce desire. Nobody enjoys feeling obligated. Desire grows best when people feel free to choose. Not when they feel forced to avoid disappointing someone. Reality check. Here's something many people never hear. Love, comfort, affection, and sexual desire are connected. But they're not identical. You can have one without fully feeling the others. And that's exactly why so many couples become confused. One partner says, "She still cuddles with me, so everything must be fine." The other says, "She still loves me, but something inside me has changed." Both statements can be true at the same time. But here's where it becomes really interesting. Because sometimes, the problem isn't stress. It isn't work. It isn't exhaustion. It isn't even attraction. Sometimes, the real reason has been quietly growing for months, without either partner realizing it. And once you understand that reason, you'll see why so many couples slowly lose their intimacy without ever falling out of love. So if it isn't always cheating, and it isn't always stress, then what else could be happening? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Sometimes, people don't stop wanting sex. They stop feeling desired. And there's a huge difference. Reality check. Many relationships don't lose attraction overnight. They slowly stop creating it. She doesn't feel desired anymore. Think back to the beginning of your relationship. You complimented her. You noticed small things. You looked into her eyes. You flirted for no reason. You touched her hand without expecting anything. Now think about today. Most conversations sound like this. What should we eat? Did you pay the bill? Don't forget tomorrow. The relationship became practical. But romance quietly disappeared. Many men still love their partner. But they stop making her feel attractive. And attraction isn't something you build once. It's something you maintain. Reality check. Love can stay. Desire still needs attention. She feels like sex is becoming a responsibility. This happens more often than people admit. She already knows what will happen tonight. You'll cuddle. Then you'll kiss her. Then you'll expect sex. Every single time. After a while, intimacy starts feeling less like a choice, and more like another responsibility. Imagine if every hug came with an invisible question. Are we having sex tonight? Eventually, even the hug starts losing its comfort. Not because she dislikes you. Because she dislikes the pressure. Emotional resentment is quietly growing. This one destroys more relationships than most people realize. Let's say you've had small arguments for months. Nothing huge. Just little disappointments. You don't listen. She feels ignored. You feel criticized. Nobody apologizes properly. Nobody fixes the problem. Life continues. But emotions don't disappear. They accumulate. Like dust. One argument doesn't destroy attraction. 20 unresolved arguments might. Reality check. People rarely stop wanting intimacy after one bad day. It usually happens after many unresolved days. She doesn't feel emotionally seen. Here's something many couples never discuss. Sometimes she doesn't want solutions. She wants understanding. Imagine she tells you, "My day was terrible." You immediately say, "Just ignore them. Don't think about it. It'll be fine." You think you're helping. But she feels unheard. She wanted connection. You gave advice. After enough moments like this, she slowly stops opening up. When emotional conversations disappear, physical intimacy often follows. The mental load nobody talks about. Here's something psychologists have studied for years. Mental load. It's the invisible list constantly running inside someone's head. Groceries. Bills. Children. Work. Family. Appointments. Cleaning. Deadlines. Tomorrow's plans. If someone's brain never gets a break, their body often struggles to relax too. Desire usually needs mental space. Stress fills that space. That's why some people still enjoy cuddling. Cuddling feels peaceful. Sex sometimes feels like another thing demanding energy. Comfort is not the same as excitement. This is one of the biggest relationship myths. People think, if we're comfortable together, attraction should automatically stay. Not necessarily. Comfort builds security. Excitement creates anticipation. Healthy relationships need both. Imagine eating your favorite meal every day for 3 years. You'll probably still like it. But the excitement changes. Relationships work similarly. Routine creates stability. Too much routine can reduce novelty. That doesn't mean the relationship is broken. It means it may need intentional effort. She misses the person you used to be. This one hurts. Sometimes she's not comparing you to another man. She's comparing you to the version of you she first fell in love with. Back then, you planned dates. You laughed more. You dressed differently. You surprised her. You paid attention. Now, life became predictable. Work. Dinner. Phone. Sleep. Repeat. She may still love you, but she misses the energy that existed before. Reality check. People don't only fall in love with who you are. They also fall in love with how they feel when they're with you. Stop assuming every problem is sexual. Here's another mistake. A couple hasn't had sex in weeks. The man thinks, we need more sex. But the real issue might be better conversations, more appreciation, less resentment, less pressure, more emotional connection. Sex is often the symptom, not the disease. Trying to fix only the bedroom, without fixing the relationship, is like painting a wall while the foundation is cracking. What healthy couples usually do differently. Healthy couples don't wait until intimacy disappears. They notice small changes early. They ask questions, not accusations. Instead of saying, "You never want sex anymore," they ask, "Have you been feeling okay lately?" Instead of becoming defensive, they become curious. Curiosity solves more relationship problems than blame ever will. Reality check. If someone constantly feels emotionally safe, appreciated, respected, and desired, desire often has a much better chance of growing naturally. Not because anyone forced it, but because the environment supports it. But there's still one uncomfortable question left. What if you've improved your communication, reduced the pressure, rebuilt the emotional connection, and she still doesn't want intimacy? Could attraction really be gone? Or is something even deeper happening? So, what if you've done everything right? You stopped putting pressure on her. You started listening more. You became more patient. You communicated better. You gave her space. And yet, nothing changed. Now what? This is the moment where many people give up. Some become angry. Some assume they're being cheated on. Some quietly stop trying. But before you reach any conclusion, there's one truth you need to understand. Reality check. Not every relationship can be saved. But many relationships end because people stop trying to understand each other. Attraction can fade, but it can also return. Here's something relationship researchers have found. Attraction isn't always permanent. But it isn't always gone forever either. Many couples believe desire is something that either exists or doesn't. That's not how it works. Desire responds to the relationship. It changes with stress, health, confidence, communication, conflict, trust, even sleep. That's why couples who once had an amazing relationship can lose intimacy for months and later rebuild it. The opposite is also true. Couples who once had incredible chemistry can slowly become strangers. Reality check. Love isn't something you find once. It's something you continue creating. The question nobody wants to ask. Sometimes, the hardest question isn't, "Why doesn't she want sex?" It's, "When was the last time we actually enjoyed being together?" Not sitting beside each other. Not scrolling our phones. Not watching Netflix in silence. Actually enjoying each other's company. Laughing. Talking. Flirting. Sharing moments. Many couples stop dating each other long before they stop loving each other. The phone has quietly entered the relationship. Look around almost any restaurant. 2 people. 1 table. 2 phones. Very little conversation. Hours of attention go to strangers online. Minutes go to the person sitting across from us. Then people wonder, why does the emotional connection feel weaker? Connection isn't built through proximity. It's built through attention. When attention disappears, intimacy often follows. Small acts matter more than grand gestures. A lot of people think they need expensive dates, luxury vacations, big surprises. But most relationship experts say something different. Small moments repeated consistently matter more. A genuine compliment. A warm hug with no expectations. Holding hands during a walk. Listening without interrupting. Laughing together. These moments slowly rebuild emotional safety. And emotional safety often becomes the foundation for physical intimacy. One dangerous habit. There's another mistake many people make. Keeping score. I plan the last date. I always text first. I always apologize. I always initiate. Relationships are not competitions. The moment both people become accountants, love starts feeling like a transaction. Healthy relationships focus less on winning and more on understanding when it might be time for an honest conversation. Sometimes the issue isn't temporary. Maybe months have passed. Maybe nothing changes. Maybe every attempt ends in silence. At that point, avoiding the conversation helps no one. Instead of saying, "You never want me," try saying, "I miss feeling close to you." Notice the difference. One sentence creates defensiveness. The other creates honesty. Words matter, especially when emotions are already fragile. The truth about compatibility. Here's a fact people rarely discuss. Sometimes, two good people simply have different levels of desire. Neither person is wrong. Neither person is broken. But if those differences are never discussed, resentment slowly grows. Healthy couples talk about difficult topics. Unhealthy couples avoid them until they're impossible to ignore. What love actually looks like. Movies teach us that love is constant passion. Reality is different. Real love sometimes looks like patience, understanding, forgiveness, growth, showing up on difficult days, learning your partner again, even after years together. Because people change, and relationships must change with them. Final reality check. If she still wants your hugs, still wants your hand, still wants to sleep beside you, don't immediately assume she has stopped loving you. Ask yourself, have we stopped talking? Have we stopped flirting? Have we stopped making each other feel special? Have we allowed routine to replace romance? Sometimes, the bedroom is simply reflecting what happened everywhere else in the relationship. And fixing intimacy doesn't always begin in the bedroom. Sometimes, it begins with one honest conversation, one genuine compliment, one date, one apology, one moment where both people choose each other again. Final message. If this video helped you see relationships differently, remember this. People don't always drift apart because they stop loving each other. Sometimes, they simply stop making each other feel loved. And that's a difference worth understanding. Because love isn't only about finding the right person. It's also about becoming the kind of partner someone continues choosing, even years later. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more relationship psychology, dating insights, and reality checks that most people never talk about. Until next time, take care.